Good day again, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. My name remains Mukulola Ugidiolu, and I'm so glad you could join us today. We'll be talking about setting a plan and pitfalls to avoid. So, just before we continue, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share, and comment. Today, the topic before us is setting a plan and pitfalls to avoid. It's important you have a goal in mind. One of the books I enjoyed reading from last year is Seven Habits of Highly Effective Families. Stephen Covey, he had editions ranging from family to the workspace for teenagers. But I love how the habits were highlighted. One of the habits I hold dearly is the habit 4, starting with the end in mind. So you have a plan before you. I would advise that you schedule your planning, you schedule your goals in 6 different categories. It could be starting with your faith, then you go into your personal goals, then you go into your finances, share them. This give them compartments and structure. Yeah. And another thing, when you are starting your goal in mind, you shouldn't just have so many goals. That is number one pitfall to avoid. Having so many goals running at once is bound to fall, is bound to fail. Yeah. So start with the end in mind. There are questions you should ask before you start a goal. Why? When? How? What? And where? You would need to put these things in perspective. Excuse me. The first thing you need to do is to start with your why. There's a book I love so much. You can read that book, starting with your why. Because when you start all of these goals, fine, we are in the new year, and New Year resolutions are starting everywhere. But if you start with your why, along the line, you feel discouraged, you feel tired, you feel stressed, because trust me, these three things I highlighted are going to come up one way or the other. So you feel stressed, you feel tired, you feel discouraged. When you remember your why acts like a booster. Your why acts like a fertilizer. Your why acts like a nutrient that helps your goals to come alive. Yeah. So you need to start with your why. Why are you going to a certain goal? So I always love stories, and I'll give you a personal story of mine. I remember during COVID lockdown, I was wearing a size 12. I was wearing a size 12, and COVID hits. Yeah, we just threw caution into the wind, and we just let ourselves loose. And I discovered that I was adding weight and gaining weight, and my clothes were not fitting again. There was one skit. It's a joke. The person shared a picture of somebody who was smaller, and the person had added weight. And the person was not asking, where were you when you were? The person was wearing XL. And the person came to the shop to buy 3XL. He said, where were you when you were increasing? And that stuck to me. And I said, you know what? I need to be in shape, because I know my family history. I need to be in shape. And what did I do? I started walking. Distances, but I had a plan B. And what was that plan B? I would put small change in my pockets, so that when I'm tired, I would hop onto the next bus to get back home. I had that plan B, but I never used it. There was even a time that I would not even get money in my pocket, because habits, consistency was formed, and I will get to it in some videos after this. But fast track, I was consistent with it. I think I worked for 16 months. No, not 16, 18 months straight, not missing a day. I kid you not. I didn't miss one day. So even if it was raining, even if I traveled, I would meet my 10,000 steps. And it was it's doable. Just stick with me. I'll be your favorite productivity coach. Yeah. So you need to start with your why. You know your what's, you know your where, when, and how. When you have your why also acts as a core. So when you know how, you know why you are doing a certain thing, every other thing falls into place. But if you don't get your why intact, things crumble, you lose focus, you get distracted, you get discouraged, you get tired, and the steam is out. So this is one of the reasons why people start a plan. We're already in the 4th of January, according to where I live. People start something and before you know it, they just get tired. Another pitfall to avoid is to start small. You necessarily don't have to start big. So I and some of a few friends of mine last year we did squats challenge. You know, if you want to do sports challenge, for instance, I would advise you don't start big. You need to start small. I read a book titled Atomic Habits. Along the line, I will be giving you books that would help you in your journey. And these books I've used it, I implement them, and I hope you would also borrow a leaf or two from me. So from this book, Atomic Habits, you need to break it down. Break down when you have, it's good to have vision because when you can visualize vision boards, when you can visualize it, you can actually have an understanding of where you are going to. Yeah. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. It says that you should break down the goals. So it's good to have a fantastic goal. Work with this model SMART. So be specific, measurable, accurate, realistic. Yeah. And the last one is time bound. So are you having short-term goals, long-term goals? How do you want it? But most importantly, you need to be disciplined. It's your discipline that helps you to be consistent. Keep a journal. Journaling is beautiful. Journaling helps you to write down where you started from, yeah, where your starting point is. It guides you through your finish line. So you can be able to reflect and to review your processes. There are sometimes your goals may no longer be realistic. So you need to augment, you need to change your plans, and you need to change your strategies. So if you are the kind of person that your energy, and it's also important you know your energy level. If you are the early morning riser, your energy is high in the morning, fix things according to your energy pattern. So if your energy level is higher during the day, then you fix things that work during the day. Another pitfall to avoid, I mentioned having so many goals at once. So you also need to watch what you're doing. Yeah. Mirror it. Make sure it is very simple. If it is skipping, you don't have to do 100 skips per time. And one thing about your body, because you are not used to it, I kid you not, the first few days that you start skipping, your body will start giving you signals. But the persistence, endure if you need be. But before you go into that exercise, you will need a physical health fitness check. It's not all the goals you can do as an individual. So I just see people that will just go into the gym and the first thing they do, they start running on the treadmill. Why do you want to hurt yourself? Have you checked your pulse? Have you checked your BP? Do you know what is recommended for you? That is where the how comes into play. So ask yourself today, because building a better you starts when? Today. So I'll leave you with this. Remember to schedule your plans. It is the plans you schedule that gets done. I'll repeat it again. Remember to schedule your goals. It's the plans that get scheduled that gets done. Thank you once again for joining me on today's episode. The title of today's episode is Setting a Plan and Pitfalls to Avoid. I remain your productivity coach, Mupelola Ogidiolu. And don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, and to share. Thank you once again, and see you in the next video. Peace and joy.